Little people, big world. Amy Roloff's husband Chris caught gossiping behind her back to Matt. Hello viewers, I am Alana. Welcome back to my channel. USA Daily History for Roloff family latest news update. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The long-running TLC series Little People, Big World has always delivered more than just family-friendly entertainment. Over nearly 2 decades, the show has become a soap opera of real-life family drama, emotional confessions, unexpected betrayals, and shifting loyalties. But fans were recently stunned by one revelation in particular. Amy Roloff's husband Chris Marek was caught gossiping behind her back, and not just to anyone, but to her ex-husband, Matt Roloff. This unexpected twist left fans divided, with many questioning Chris's loyalty to Amy and others wondering if there's more to this entanglement than meets the eye. Is Chris just trying to keep the peace, or is he walking a dangerous line that could unravel trust in his marriage? Here's a full deep dive into the incident that's left LPBW fans in shock, along with the ripple effects it's had on the Roloff family dynamics. To understand the impact of the gossip incident, it's important to first look at the unusual relationship between Chris Marek and Matt Roloff. From the moment Chris entered Amy's life, fans were curious how he would get along with her ex-husband, Matt. After all, Amy and Matt had a famously rocky divorce after decades of marriage, raising 4 children together, and building Roloff Farms from the ground up. But to the surprise of many, Chris didn't just tolerate Matt, he actively built a friendship with him. This unexpected camaraderie between the two men often baffled fans, especially considering how hard Amy worked to distance herself emotionally and physically from Matt after their split. She sold her share of the farm and started over with Chris, embracing a new chapter in her life. Yet, despite this, Chris remained oddly cordial, some would say chummy, with Matt. At first, this seemed like an effort to keep things civil. But when Chris began spending time with Matt outside of group events and even going on double dates with Matt and his girlfriend Karen Chandler, some fans grew concerned. Was Chris too close for comfort with Amy's ex? The tension finally reached a boiling point in one of the most talked about scenes in LPBW history. During a casual conversation between Matt and Chris let loose about a private matter involving Amy, and the cameras were rolling. Chris shared his frustrations about Amy's emotional responses to certain family issues. He expressed that sometimes she holds on to the past too tightly and reacts defensively, especially when Matt is involved. While Chris's comments weren't overtly cruel, they struck a nerve with viewers. Why was Chris venting about his wife to her ex-husband on national television, no less? The moment sent shockwaves through the fandom. Viewers quickly took to Reddit, Twitter, and Facebook to express their outrage. Chris should be defending Amy, not gossiping about her behind her back to the man who caused her so much pain, one fan wrote. It's one thing to be friendly, another thing to betray trust like that, another added. Some felt Chris was simply being transparent and honest in a complicated situation. Others felt it was a clear betrayal. When Amy saw the footage and eventually confronted the situation, her response was subdued but telling. She admitted that she was hurt by the idea that her husband would discuss her personal emotions and behaviors with Matt, especially when she wasn't present to speak for herself. She acknowledged that she values honesty and openness in her marriage, but also expects loyalty and discretion. Amy, having spent years healing from a difficult marriage, expressed that she needs to feel safe and respected, especially when it comes to issues involving Matt. "I'm not saying Chris can't be friends with Matt," she said in a confessional. "But I need to know that my husband has my back, not that he's sharing my vulnerable moments with my ex." Her reaction resonated deeply with fans who have followed her journey for years. Many saw Amy's words as a reflection of how far she's come in reclaiming her voice and boundaries. In the aftermath of the controversy, Chris Marek defended himself, stating that he never meant to speak ill of Amy. He framed the conversation as an attempt to build understanding and reduce tension between the two families, particularly as they navigate events like holidays, grandparenting, and shared family spaces. "I wasn't trying to gossip," Chris said. "I was trying to help Matt understand where Amy was coming from. I thought that by explaining things from my perspective, it would ease some of the friction. But this explanation didn't satisfy all fans. Some believed that Chris was gaslighting the situation by making it seem as though he was helping when, in fact, he was crossing a boundary that should never have been breached. This isn't the first time Marek has been called out for behavior that appears to cross personal lines. Some viewers have noted previous instances where Chris seemed dismissive of Amy's feelings, especially when she expresses discomfort about her past with Matt. In one episode, Amy was visibly anxious about attending a family gathering where Matt and Karen would be present. Chris, instead of offering reassurance, told her to just let it go and not make a big deal about it. While some fans saw this as practical advice, others saw it as minimizing Amy's emotional experience, especially considering how deeply hurt she had been in her prior marriage. This pattern of behavior has led many to question whether Chris truly understands the emotional baggage Amy carries or whether he's more focused on keeping peace at the expense of Amy's comfort. The fandom remains deeply divided over this situation. On one side are those who feel Chris has betrayed Amy's trust and needs to reevaluate his priorities. This is not okay. Amy deserves a partner who doesn't feed personal info to her ex-husband. Others, however, defend Chris, arguing that navigating the complexities of a blended family isn't black and white. They're all adults trying to coexist. Maybe Chris just made a mistake, not a betrayal. Some viewers also believe the producers may have exaggerated the scene for dramatic effect, editing it to appear more scandalous than it truly was. After all, LPBW is still a reality show, and drama drives ratings. The fallout from this incident could have long-term effects on Amy and Chris's marriage. While Amy has not indicated any intention to end the relationship, she did express a need to re-establish boundaries and open a deeper dialogue about respect and emotional safety. Trust is a foundational part of any marriage, and when it's shaken, even unintentionally, it takes time to rebuild. Amy has been through the emotional ringer before, and fans don't want to see her go through it again. Many are hoping this incident becomes a learning opportunity for the couple to strengthen their communication, reaffirm their commitment, and make sure that all future conversations about sensitive topics happen face-to-face, not in third-party chats. The dynamics among the Roloffs have always been complicated. With Matt and Karen planning their own wedding, and Amy and Chris trying to maintain peace for the sake of the grandchildren, things are more tangled than ever. The latest incident has introduced new tensions. Amy may now be more cautious about how involved she allows Chris to be in interactions with Matt. Meanwhile, Matt, who hasn't always been the most sensitive character on the show, may use this information to further his own narrative. And then there's the impact on the kids and grandkids, who are stuck in the middle of these adult relationships. This incident could become a turning point in how the family moves forward, or it could cause further rifts. What fans of Little People, Big World love most is its rawness and relatability. They've watched the Roloff family grow and change for over 20 seasons. They've rooted for Amy to find happiness, supported her new life with Chris, and celebrated her wedding as a new beginning. That's why this moment struck such a chord. It wasn't just about gossip, it was about trust, loyalty, and respect in a marriage that viewers have emotionally invested in. Many fans are now calling on the show's producers and cast to address the fallout openly in future episodes. They want to hear Chris own up to his mistake, Amy express her true feelings, and both partners work through it on screen in a way that shows growth, not avoidance. At the heart of the matter lies one question: can Marek rebuild trust not just with Amy, but with viewers who feel let down? The answer depends on what happens next. If Chris chooses to learn from the incident, acknowledges Amy's feelings, and prioritizes her emotional safety over casual camaraderie with her ex, there may still be hope for redemption. But if he continues to downplay the situation or defend his actions, fans may start to question whether he's truly the right partner for Amy. Amy Roloff deserves nothing less than a husband who stands beside her not just in public, but in private moments too. As Little People, Big World continues to unfold, viewers will be watching closely not just for the drama, but for the real human moments that have always made the show so compelling. LPBW star Amy Roloff gushes over fiancé Chris after surprise engagement. "I couldn't be happier." Fans of Little People, Big World have followed Amy Roloff's journey for years, from raising a family on the iconic Roloff farms to navigating the emotional waters of divorce and single life. But no moment brought more genuine joy and excitement than when Amy revealed her surprise engagement to longtime boyfriend, Marek. Shockwaves through the LPBW fandom, and viewers were instantly captivated by the couple's love story. Amy, glowing with happiness, couldn't help but gush, "I couldn't be happier." And truly, she meant every word. After spending over 25 years married to Matt Roloff, Amy's divorce was a deeply personal transition, played out in the public eye. Her fans watched as she struggled with leaving the family farm and redefining her identity post-divorce. It was a tough journey, one filled with reflection, growth, and the fear of starting over in midlife. But Amy never gave up hope that love might find her again, and that hope was rewarded. In 2016, she met Marek at a singles mixer event. Initially, fans were curious who was this mystery man sweeping Amy off her feet. Unlike Matt, Chris was not from a farming background. A real estate agent with a calm demeanor and a dry sense of humor, Chris represented something refreshing and new in Amy's life. At first, the LPBW audience was skeptical. Some questioned Chris's intentions. Others felt protective of Amy, fearing she might get hurt again. But over time, viewers saw a sincere, supportive bond emerge. Chris treated Amy with gentle respect, patience, and joy. Whether on motorcycle trips, cooking dates, or family holidays, Chris showed up as a steady presence. Their relationship grew quietly but meaningfully. Fans began to notice Amy smiling more, laughing more, and embracing this unexpected second chance at love. In September 2019, Amy took to Instagram with a dazzling ring and a glowing face. Chris had popped the question and she had said yes. The proposal caught Amy completely off guard. She revealed in interviews and social media posts that she hadn't expected it at all. "It was a total surprise," she said, "but the best kind." Chris had planned the moment thoughtfully, knowing how much it would mean to Amy. The proposal happened during a romantic dinner, and although Amy had previously expressed doubts about ever marrying again, something about the timing and the man just felt right. Amy's ring was a stunner, a sparkling diamond set in white gold, elegant and timeless. She immediately shared photos, proudly showing off the ring with the caption, "I couldn't be happier." Her family, friends, and fans reacted with excitement and support. Many longtime LPBW followers felt like they had gone on this journey with her, from heartbreak to healing to love once more. Even Matt Roloff, her ex-husband, publicly congratulated the couple, showing maturity and grace. "Amy deserves happiness," he told reporters. "I wish them well." As much as there was celebration, the engagement also came with challenges. Being a public figure means every personal decision is put under a microscope. Some critics questioned how quickly Amy moved on after her divorce. Others speculated about Chris's intentions, wondering if he was using Amy for fame or financial gain. Amy remained unbothered. In an emotional video on social media, she addressed the negativity head-on. "I know my heart," she said. "I know Chris's heart. And I don't need to prove anything to anyone. This is my journey." That fierce independence is what fans love about Amy. She has always been unapologetically herself, grounded, emotional, and authentic. Once the engagement excitement settled, Amy turned her attention to wedding planning. For someone who had already had a large wedding decades earlier, she wanted something more intimate, more personal, and truly reflective of who she and Chris were as a couple. She shared updates with fans, picking flowers, shopping for dresses, choosing a venue, and making decisions about who to invite. One of the biggest choices? Whether or not to get married at Roloff Farms, the very place tied so closely to her former marriage. In a bold decision, she chose not to. Instead, Amy and Chris selected a venue that felt neutral and special, free from the weight of the past. It was another symbolic step in moving forward. One of the complexities Amy and Chris had to navigate was blending their families. Amy's children Zach, Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob had grown up in front of America. Chris, who never had children of his own, was stepping into a unique dynamic. While some fans speculated about family tensions, Amy reassured everyone that her kids supported the engagement. Zach and Tori, in particular, welcomed Chris warmly and were happy to see their mom thriving. Chris, too, spoke about the importance of family. "I'm not trying to replace anyone," he said. "I'm just happy to be part of their lives and part of Amy's future." In several interviews, Amy opened up about the difference between love in her 20s and love in her 50s. "The first time, I was young and just wanted a family. This time, I know myself better. I know what I need, and I know what I can give." That maturity brought clarity. Amy and Chris communicated openly, supported each other's dreams, and gave one another space to grow both as individuals and as a couple. The engagement wasn't just a milestone, it was a transformation. Fans noticed that Amy began to embrace new experiences with Chris, from camping trips and bike rides to dinner dates and home renovations. She started writing more on her blog, baking for her online store, and posting reflective thoughts about this new chapter. Chris, meanwhile, remained her biggest cheerleader. "He makes me feel seen," Amy wrote. "That's something I never take for granted." The couple didn't rush the wedding. Instead, they took their time, savoring their engagement and using the opportunity to grow even closer. In the end, what made the engagement so special was the surprise of it all. Amy didn't see it coming, not just the proposal, but the love story itself. She often speaks about how she thought her romantic life was behind her. That after the divorce, she had closed that chapter. But Chris reminded her and all of us that life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Amy summed it up best in an interview: "I thought I knew what my future looked like. Then Chris walked into it, and suddenly everything changed for the better." Amy's journey is more than a personal love story. It's a universal reminder that healing, growth, and happiness are always possible even after great loss. Her engagement to Chris symbolized resilience, courage, and the ability to open one's heart again. To her fans, Amy offers a message of hope: don't settle. Don't stop believing in love. And don't let fear keep you from living the life you deserve. Long after the initial announcement, Amy and Chris's engagement continues to resonate with fans of Little People, Big World. It's not just